G'day guys, today we are going to go over how to add games and optionally install custom multicore to your GB300 or SF2000 using only an Android device. Unfortunately, you won't be able to change the games in the stock system menus without a Windows PC, so you will be stuck running everything from the user ROMs folder. Just to clarify what I mean, these menus here are the stock system menus, so you won't be able to change any of these games listed in here. Instead, you will have to run all of your games from the user ROMs folder, which is this folder here. While you can use your Android device's built-in memory card reader, we will be using an external USB SD reader for this video. The steps for either will be the same. Let's get into it. The first thing you're going to need to do is to insert the SD card from your GB300 or SF2000 into your Android device. Again, since I'll be using this cheap USB SD reader, I've just inserted it into that, and I'm also using a cheap USB OTG adapter. I'll plug this into the OTG port. If you are using the phone's built-in memory card reader, you should be good to go, but if you are using the OTG port, you most likely will need to enable it. Let's go to settings. At the very top, in search, we want to type in OTG. There it is, OTG connection, we'll just tap on that. And we want to make sure it's enabled. If it's working, you should get a notification at the bottom. We don't want to open up File Manager just yet, but it is good to know it does work. We'll go back to the home screen. So we'll start by installing custom multicore firmware, which not only lets you run a heap more systems, like Commodore 64 and Atari 2600, but also comes with custom cores for stock systems like Game Boy, Game Boy Advanced, and NES, which improve performance and add additional features like fast forward and rewind. Again, this is entirely optional, and if you just want to stick with a stock OS and simply add extra games, skip to the appropriate timestamp. So to get started installing Multicore, we'll just open up our web browser, which for me is Google Chrome, and typed in TZUber GB300 Multicore. Press search, should be the top GitHub link, click on that one. From here we want to scroll down a little bit, we want to tap on the little menu icon, go all the way down to the very bottom, and tap on releases. That should take us down to the releases section, and we'll just tap on that to go to the actual releases page. So on this page we want to scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and click on releases. This should take us to the releases tab, which I will link directly down in the description below, just to save you searching for it manually. From here we want to scroll down a little bit. Under assets, we want to download the correct version for our device. Since we'll be doing it for our GB300, we want to download the GB300 version, which is the top one. Just tap on it once to download. Obviously, if you're doing this for the SF2000, you would download the SF2000 build instead. Once it's finished downloading, we can close our browser and open up our file manager of choice. For this video, we'll just be using Solid Explorer File Manager, but you can use any one you want as long as it does support 7Z compression. We'll just install it. So with your File Explorer open, navigate to your Downloads folder where you downloaded the multicore file, and we do just want to extract it. To do that, we can hold down on it, click the three dots at the very bottom right, and click Extract. If you are using Solid Explorer, you should see a progress bar on the bottom right. If you tap on the little progress bubble, it does take you to a detailed progress screen. You can see here it has taken around 7 minutes so far on my phone, and we're only at 77%. In total for me, it took just over 15 minutes to fully extract. With it extracted, we want to open up the folder, and we want to copy all the files inside here to our SD card. So to do that, hold down on one of them. At the top, press the Select All button. At the very bottom left, click Copy. That should copy them all. We want to go to our SD card now. To do that, we can just swipe on the screen, and we should now be on our SD card. We want to paste all the files to the root of this SD card, so not inside any of these folders. Simply click Paste. If it asks you if you want to merge any folders, make sure you click Yes to all of them. And if it asks you to overwrite any old files, make sure you select Yes to all the new files. You may need to grant permissions if it's the first time you've used the app with your SD card. Just click Grant and use this folder. Unfortunately, that did cancel the copy, so we'll have to go back to the files we extracted, select them all once more, copy them once more, and go back to our SD card and paste them once more. Once again, merge all the files, and overwrite all files with the new ones. Once it's finished copying, that's pretty much it. Multicore is now installed. By default, you won't notice any changes on your GB300 or SF2000 until you add games to the new custom core folders and run a script on the handheld itself, which we will do a little bit later. Next, let's add some games to our SD card. If you aren't using Multicore, all we have to do is copy them over to the ROMs folder on our GB300 or SF2000's SD card. Nice and simple. To do that, open up your choice of file manager. Again, we're just using Solid Explorer. Navigate to where you have your ROMs you want to copy over. For me, they're in the Downloads folder. If you have any games that are zipped, make sure to unzip them first before copying them over. So our Mega Man 2 is zipped. To extract it, we just hold down on it, click the three dots at the very bottom right, and click Extract. So with all of your games extracted, we just want to select them all, hold down on it to select. I do want to select both of my games, so I'll just select both. Ideally, you would have them all in a separate folder, so you can just press Select All. With our game selected, we want to tap on copy, we want to swipe over to our SD card, we want to go down to our ROMs folder. We don't want to put them in the Game Boy Color or NES folder, any of these folders. We want to go all the way down to ROMs and paste them in here. If you have Multicore installed, you'll see a whole bunch of system folders. If you don't have Multicore installed, you'll most likely only have a saves folder. Either way, just press paste. And that's pretty much it. We'll safely eject our SD card. To do that, you can swipe down, and it should usually be on the notifications bar. Tap to safely remove device. We'll move back over to our handheld and go over how to launch our new games. We're back on our GB300 now, and as mentioned earlier, you cannot load your games from the stock systems menu. Instead, you have to run them from the user ROMs folder. So I'll open that up now. If you don't have Multicore installed, you should just see your games you've added. If you do have Multicore installed, you'll see a bunch of files. From here, highlight the game you want to play, for example Mega Man 2, and just press A. And you can see here it does work perfectly. Now if you do have Multicore installed, and you do want the games you copy over to use the new custom cores, the steps are slightly different. To start off, you want to copy your games over one system at a time. So for us, we'll start with Mega Man 2, our NES game. Just hold down on it, select copy. If you had an entire folder full of NES games, you would navigate to that folder on your phone, select all, and then copy. So with our NES games copied, we want to swipe over back to our SD card. We want to go all the way down to the ROMs folder. We don't want to use any of the existing system folders, we do have to go into the ROMs folder. And in here, we want to find our custom core folder for the system we're copying. So for us, we're copying NES over, we'll go down to N, and there's a few different choices of NES emulators you could use, but we'll go with NESQ. Paste your ROMs in here. Once you've finished copying an entire system over, we can go back to our downloads and do a different system. So we'll also do Game Boy Color in this test. Once again, select all of our Game Boy Color games, select copy, go back to our SD card, go back to the ROMs folder with all these systems, and this time we want to select one of our Game Boy cores. So go up to G, and for Game Boy and Game Boy Color, you're most likely going to want to use the GB folder. Paste them in here. Once you've copied all of the games over to the correct custom core folders on your SD card, we're pretty much finished on our phone. Don't forget to safely eject your SD card. You can usually do that in the notifications bar. Tap to safely remove storage device. With our SD card safely removed, we'll move back over to our handheld. We're back on our handheld now, and before we can play our freshly copied games using our new custom cores, we do have to generate ROM stubs. To do that is super easy. We want to go down to the user ROMs folder, and we want to go all the way down to JS2000 ROM list generator. For me, it's number 5. Just highlight it and press A. We'll zoom in on the screen to make it a little bit easier to see. So all we have to do here is press the A button once. If you have thousands and thousands of games, this can take quite a while, but since we only have 2, it does not take very long at all. Once it's finished and all 75 cores have been processed, you can quit out by pressing Start and Select, and going down to quit. You'll be back in the user ROMs folder, and you'll notice none of your games have shown up. All you have to do is power off the device and power it on once more. Once it boots back up, we want to go back down to our user ROMs folder, and this is where we'll always be running all of our custom core games. All of your games will be sorted alphabetically by the cores they use. So if you're using the GB core for all of your Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, they'll all start with GB. For our NES game using the NESQ core, it should start with NESQ. If we go down, there it is there, NESQ Mega Man 2. To run it, all you have to do is highlight it and press A. You should get a red multi-core loading screen. This means it is using the new custom cores. Depending on the core you're using, you may also get a short splash screen showing off the hotkeys. And that's it, you should now be in the game. We'll go into a level just to show off the new hotkeys. The main ones for the NESQ emulator are going to be fast forward and rewind. So fast forward's pretty self-explanatory. To enable it, hold down select and press R once. This toggles the first fast forward speed. You can see it is going quite fast. Hold down select and press R once more to enable the second fast forward speed. You can see it's even faster. And to disable it, hold down select and press R once more. Rewind is pretty similar. If we fall down the pit, hold down select and hold down L at the same time to rewind. We'll do it again. Hold down select, hold down L. It does rewind. So that's pretty much it. You should have been able to do absolutely everything using only your phone. If you do have access to a Windows PC, you can change the games in the stock system menus, so these menus here, using a program called GB300 Tool. I have made a video on that in the past, so I'll link it down in the description below. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.